Hi friend, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and I'm really excited in this video because we're going to look at new PARs from Eliminator Lighting. Now, above my head and right here, we've got some PARs today from Eliminator Lighting, and I think you're going to like what you want to see. The point of today's video, it's a product review, and it's also, like everything I do here, not purely just a review, but a lesson in how to choose what lights are right for you. Because ultimately, these lights, we're going to cut to the chase here, they're good lights for the right person. They're not the perfect light for everyone. But the thing that Eliminator does, and their kind of sub-headline, is affordable DJ lighting that rocks. They've got it's marketing found something better than that, but this is what I've got off the top of my head. And I gotta tell you, it's the truth. I've spent a couple weeks with these things, been using them in my test rig, been using them to learn some software, and they do a really nice job for what they are. So in particular, today, we're gonna highlight the LP42 RGBW and the LP Hex, okay? These are two newer ones to the market, and I think, first of all, the first thing you gotta talk about is price, okay? Because if you're buying lights, or you're specifying lights for an installation or something like that, or for a DJ or a band, price is often one of the first concerns that comes up and the first things you talk about. And that's where Eliminator really carves out a niche for itself, because their stuff is, really inexpensive. Okay? So, I'm not going to talk MSRP on the video. You can check that out below, just because things change, especially with trade relations internationally and whatnot. But if you look at lights that are similar to these, you're going to find that the pricing on these is pretty much unbeatable, okay? So what do you get for the price? Well, the LP42 Hex and the Hex, the 6 here, they're very similar lights, okay? This is what I like, too, about Eliminator's current PAR range, is they share a lot of things between the range, such as the casing and the overall design, and so there's a lot of consistency from light to light, okay? So on the front side, the 42 RGBW has red, green, blue, and white in rings. We'll put a little video of that here. And so they're individual LEDs. You can see the different colors when it's on. The Hex does not have the rings. All of them are going to appear the same. They're mixed when they come out of the light. They both have a nice yoke, pretty standard double yoke, tightening knobs on both sides. They work well. There's enough space for cables out the bottom or top if you clamp mount it. Holes for a clamp fits standard clamps. Then on the back for both of these, we're going to see 3-pin DMX in and out, menu up, down, enter, a microphone for sound active mode, a fan to cool it, so there is going to be some fan noise. These things aren't silent, but they're not that loud either. It's one of those things that, in my office here with 5 of these things on and 2 of the mini PARs, I notice the sound, and I get it in my videos a little. And so don't use these probably for a TV studio. But remember, these are fan cooled because Eliminator mainly aims at the band and DJ market. Okay, maybe some churches too, where you don't have your lights on all the time. In fact, most of the time they're unplugged. And when you do have them on, there's a loud enough environment that little bit of fan noise isn't going to bother people. Okay, it saves on cost, it saves on weight. Okay, plastic case. Power in and out through the IEC in and outputs, so they're not PowerCon or anything like that. Pretty basic, pretty bare bones, and they're both going to share these same features on the backside. Now when we turn them on, there's a couple things we notice. Okay, they make colors pretty well. Now they each have their own purpose, and I can highlight in my rig here actually the Trio PAR RGs, the Trio PAR LED in the middle, and then the Hex 12 and the 42 RGBW, because you can see with Eliminator they all have kind of their sweet spot of what they do well. The RGs have the little laser that you can see behind me shooting little laser beams around, and they provide a pretty narrow wash that looks kind of cool in haze. Okay, the Hex does look good in haze and washing light and washing surfaces. Okay, the 42 really is more of an effects light. You see the beam in the haze or when we wash a surface, it's not the best, right? Because that's not its purpose. It's an effect type light. It's something that if you were changing the colors as a DJ and these rings were flashing, it would look really cool. As opposed to the Hex, where it doesn't look as cool on the face, but it's better at mixing, better when you point it at surfaces, okay? All of these units that Eliminator sent me performed well in my testing. They all could mix colors. They all followed the DMX channels that were specified. They all generally did what they were supposed to at a good price. You know, when I turn the lasers on the RGs that have the lasers, I hear a little bit of high-pitched whine out of them. But again, you know, it's one of those things that for the cost, you really can't beat it. So who is this good for? Because right now, it might feel like I'm either recommending this or bashing it, and you might not be sure. And I'm not recommending it or bashing it. You know, Eliminator comes out, and they hit the price point that provides a really good value, especially for people who are setting up and tearing down their stuff a lot. Okay? These aren't something you're going to throw on a worldwide tour and abuse. But for the owner-operator, DJ, band, small sound company, these are really worth a good look. Because they, for a killer cost, offer some features that you see more often in professional units. I mean, this guy, you know, I like the Hex one better, of course, because it's a really decent wash light that washes a wall, washes maybe some band members with some really good Hex lights. So that's red, green, blue, white, amber, and UV. It can even make a decent white for faces. Again, not something I would go light a church with or light a corporate show, but for a band, yeah, I would light them with these things. And so if you're looking at them, who are they good for? You know, I would really say if you're really cost conscious and you don't put a ton of use or abuse on your lights, you take care of your stuff, give these things a try. You know, they are less expensive than other models on the market. They don't have a massive amount of feature sets, but in general, they work well. They do what they're supposed to. They have a few downsides like the fan noise, like the lack of PowerCon inputs and outputs, but you just can't beat the price. I mean, this is the price level where you could buy stuff direct from China, but you're not going to get the warranty that you're going to get from these lights, okay? You're not going to get the consistency from unit to unit that if you buy lights 6 months from now, they'll have the DMX profile that matches. They'll work generally the same way. And so that's my recommendation, guys. Take it or leave it. As always, Eliminator did send me these lights to test. I'm going to keep some of them. Others I'm going to send back. But at the end of the day, all of this review, all of these opinions are mine. They're not paid for by Eliminator. And that's something that I've got open, many of you guys know, to any manufacturer. I've been doing more reviews here because people keep sending me stuff. And ultimately, this isn't going to be a place where people pay for reviews. It's going to be a place where I give my honest opinion as I review this gear. So, if you like what you just saw, subscribe here, like this video, and check out my free guide to begin with lighting over at LearnStageLighting.com. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.